Hi guys, thanks for tuning in and welcome to UConn. On these collection of videos I will be talking about one of the most interesting things I discovered of late, which is cartoon conspiracy theories. I'm going to start with one of the finest television production companies for nearly 40 years, Nickelodeon. Hey on all, the Rugrats, Dogs, SpongeBob SquarePants, the company has produced some of the best kid shows of all time. However, I have recently seen some reviews online regarding certain cartoon conspiracy theories which I found fascinating, surrounding a number of cartoons from Nickelodeon. Some of them may have some truth in them, some of them could be completely and utter nonsense. However, I decided I'm going to examine them, and in my opinion are probably the 5 most interesting ones, I give my verdict on them. Now I just want to throw out there, they are not my theories, I did not come up with any of them. You can find them all over online, I'm sure they're all over YouTube as well. I'm just going to look at the theory and see why people would think it's true or not. Next show I will be reviewing is Fairly Odd Parents. This is a cartoon which came about when I was a bit older and I wasn't watching cartoons as often as I used to, but I still remember seeing the show after I would come home from school. The Nickelodeon show was created by Butch Hartman and first aired in 2001. It follows the misadventures of Timmy Turner, a 10-year-old boy who is granted two fairy godparents, Cosmo and Walder. He is neglected by his parents, which is where the show's title comes from, and very much mistreated by his sadistic babysitter, Vicky. The theory states that Timmy's fairy godparents don't actually exist, and that Cosmo and Walder are actually just his goldfish, who are representations of his grandparents who died earlier on in his life. Due to the mistreatment he receives from his parents and his babysitter, he turns to his goldfish, as his grandparents were the only people in his life who understood him. So therefore, he likes the idea that they are still watching him and takes comfort in the idea that they are still inside of the fish, therefore taking on the role of the loving grandparents. This is backed up by the fact that none of the wishes he is granted are ever realistic, and everything is always returned to the way it was before by the time the episode is finished. Furthermore, the theory goes on to state that in addition to being abused by his babysitter Vicky, he is also being abused by his teacher Mr. Crocker, who is making sexual advances towards Timmy, which is supported by the fact that he is always trying to steal his fairies, which in a sense is Timmy's innocence. The theory concludes that Timmy is taking strong antidepressants to cope with his depression and anxiety, which have come from all the bad things that are happening in his life, which causes him to hallucinate, and why he's constantly imagining Cosmo and Walder and all the strange things which often happen when they appear, which could never happen and are not in the realms of reality. In addition, the theory is supported in the sense that antidepressants is a drug which doesn't necessarily make your life better, but does help you cope with your problems and make them more bearable, which is exactly what the fairies do for Timmy. I think this theory is very similar to the Rugrats conspiracy theory, in the same way that I don't believe any of it is true, but also in the sense that the show's writers probably didn't intend it. And the fact that it is a kid's cartoon can be seen as a simple explanation as to why things happen in the show, which never could. However, it is interesting and perhaps even believable to a point, depending how you look at it. Timmy's parents do neglect him, he does often get bullied and gets treated badly by most people he comes into contact with. His parents just don't seem to really do anything for him. He is the only child with no brothers or sisters, just a babysitter who tortures him, so it is only natural he gets lonely and imagines his life to be a lot better than it really is. A lot, if not most of his wishes, seem to turn out badly for him, and at times even put him in serious danger, but he will fantasize about them anyway, because it is still better than his real life. Another instance when this occurs is in the film Pan's Labyrinth, where Ivana is living an enduring life with her mother under the control of her stepfather during the Civil War in Spain, so she imagines the fairy tale creatures around her in order to escape from her real life, which is why she is the only person who can see or hear the creatures. There is even a part in the film when she imagines herself to be in danger for one of the fairy tale creatures, but it doesn't matter because it's still better than what her real life is like, right up to the moment she dies. Timmy could well be doing the same thing to cope with things, and in addition, the fairies do represent his innocence, which could make sense why Mr. Crocker may be abusing him, because he is attempting to take the fairies away from him, which are the best things in his life. However, I don't believe at all that this would suggest that he is a paedophile who is abusing him, especially since it's far too dark a subject to have in a kid's cartoon. I just think he's a teacher who likes to take anything away from a child which may be distracting them from their schoolwork, which is very normal of a teacher. I don't think much of the antidepressant pills theory either, as I don't think a child needs to be on any kind of drugs in order for them to imagine things. On the contrary, we have already discussed how little interest Timmy's parents have in him, so why would they go to the effort of putting him on medication? But as theories go, I would say it's definitely up for discussion, so for that reason, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. Thanks for watching this video. This was my final Nickelodeon cartoon conspiracy theory review video. However, from now on, I will be reviewing cartoon conspiracy theories outside Nickelodeon from cartoon shows such as The Simpsons, King of the Hill, and Ed, Edd and Eddy, which will start going up next week. So if you have enjoyed watching these videos so far, then I suggest you check those out too. But that's all for now. Take care, and once again, thanks for tuning into Yukon.